Hey there! Welcome to the Great Library, a game-based learning platform. You may have already heard from your teachers that for this course you are attending, you will be writing a few documents, and that additionally, with supervision from your teachers, you will be reviewing and grading each other's work. This entire review process will be done within the Great Library. Note, however, that your final grade for the course will be determined by your teacher, but your performance in the Great Library may give you bonus or penalty points. Please ask your teachers for the exact grading method used for this course. Within the Great Library, you will only be known by your avatar, a buste, and a fake name. Therefore, you will be semi-anonymous. This reduces bias when reviewing each other's work, so your grades are more based on your performance. Furthermore, all study material to guide you through the process can also be found in the application, and you can even chat with your fellow students, which means that for this course, you'll together be going on a little adventure by temporarily replacing Brightspace, Blackboard, or other web portals that your school or university may normally use. You'll be using this playful environment, which we hope engages you to grow, to improve, and to have a bit of fun in the process. Now let's start by downloading the application to your laptop or desktop computer. Go to greatlibrary.nl/download and click on the correct operating system of your computer. If you have an Apple computer, for instance, you should most likely click the macOS platform. Press download and please pay close attention to the instructions below. Most common issues for failing to run the application are resolved here. For Windows, for instance, running the application may be blocked as it's an unknown application, or because you should allow the application to use your internet. For Mac, you may not be able to run it immediately since it was downloaded, so the first time you may need to run it by right-clicking. Note that for now we do not have a mobile application. It is mandatory to run the game on a laptop or desktop computer with Windows, macOS, Linux, or Chromebook. If you are uncertain what operating system your computer is running, you may go to whatsmyos.com. Alright, now that we have already run the application, let me begin by giving a tour. First, you'll have to create an account by filling in your name, invent a memorable yet safe password, and fill in your student email address. Make sure you write your email correctly because you'd be surprised at how often this goes wrong. Once you've registered, you may log in. However, we still need to enroll you to your course, so this is where you are asked for a course code. Contact your teachers if you haven't received the course code from them yet. If you filled in the correct code, you are able to select the course and start defining your identity within the course. Simply press generate until you find a name and avatar that you like. Once you're ready, press save. Now we'll enter your room. This is the starting point from where you can reach and find everything. Before we get into the meaning of this screen, we'll first go to the progress tree, because I'll first need to introduce the structure of the course. At the bottom right of your room screen, you'll find a map of the Great Library. We'll navigate to the review area, which brings us to your progress tree. Here, you'll see how your course is structured. To begin, the course is separated into several chapters. In each chapter, you'll have to submit some work in the form of a document. Your submission for each chapter will be reviewed by other peers, but you will also have to review the submissions of others. Therefore, the progress tree has branches on the left side and right side. Each branch of the progress tree represents a set of steps between you and one of your peers. On the left side, you will find all the steps where you have to submit your document and respond to the reviews you will get from other peers. On the right side, you will review the documents of other peers. Shown in this view are the names of each step, which ones are yours to complete, and whether you have completed them. It's built to give you an extensive overview. By clicking on the steps, you'll be brought to the review hall, so you can work on the selected step, but more on that later. Now let's go back to your room, using the room button in the bottom right menu, or by pressing the back button, as coincidentally the previous screen was our room screen. This frame here shows you all the skills you can unlock. By reading up on course material and taking tiny tests, you can prove your knowledge on the matter and earn skills. By completing steps in your peer review processes, you may also unlock skill parts. These banners here always display your upcoming deadlines for review or submission steps. Depending on the course you are following, these may be quite a lot. So, to help you get a clear overview of those, there is a frame on the far right of your room that displays all of them. In the beginning of the course, you'll also find two banners that ask you to complete your identity and to complete the tour. By following this video tutorial, you will already have a lot of knowledge, but it's still mandatory to complete the tour before you can even hand in your first submission. Now, on the left, you'll find your identity, which consists of a fake name and your buste. And above your buste, you may define the topic on which you will be writing. You can change this at any time, and it's not mandatory, but it may help you focusing. Alright, but now you may ask, how do we actually submit our documents or review each other's work? Well, great question. Let's click on the upcoming deadline for a submission, or you could click on the corresponding step in the progress tree. Here, let me show you. We have now entered the review hall, where you may submit work or perform review steps such as grading, evaluation, or writing review comments. The contents of this page depend on the chapter and branch you picked. For instance, if you clicked on a deadline for writing a review in Chapter 2 for some peer's submission, you will find yourself on the right side as the reviewer, the peer on the left side as the submitter, and your review and your peer's replies in the middle. As you may see, we are now working on Chapter 1. We are currently the submitter here on the left. And these are all the steps I eventually need to do. Each have their own deadline and description, as you may see by scrolling through the page. At the top of the page, you will find a description of the chapter that you have opened, which we recommend you read. In addition, some study material might be referenced below. Don't forget to have a look there, as well as the study material as well as the chapter description here may contain key instructions on writing your document for this chapter. Now, for the purpose of this tutorial, I am pretending to have read all those instructions and that I have finished writing my document for this chapter. This document can be written in any application you would like, such as Microsoft Word, LaTeX, or Apple Pages. All we need is to upload a PDF document export. So let's upload the one I have prepared. Here it is, on my desktop. Alright. Now that it's uploaded, I can always upload a new version before the deadline. But if I'm ready to hand in my work, I can do so by clicking this button. This button is key for each step of the review process. If you don't hand in your work, the system does not know you are ready. As a result, you may hinder your peers as they depend on your work, and it may reflect poorly on your grade. In fact, not uploading a PDF document in time for the deadline will prevent you from being properly assigned to your peers at all. If you can't hand in your document because the button is inactive, then please read the warning below it carefully. You may still need to complete the tour or your identity, for instance. Now I know that you must be overwhelmed with information, but we think it is important to explain some extra key details about the review step. When it is time to review someone's work, you can open, read, and download their submission here. However, you write your comments in these applications as we need to track with certainty that you covered several key points. In my case, I have these 5 types I need to cover. As you can see, I have already written some comments here. However, I can add more feedback using the plus sign and choosing a type, like this. In addition, you will be asked to grade the submission by answering several standardized questions. And of course, don't forget to hand in your work if you are finished. Oh, and if you would like, you can chat with your peer by clicking on their nameplate. So as I've said before, you can find all study material in the grade library. Some are referenced in the chapter descriptions, but if we go back to our room, we can also enter the actual library section directly and browse through all these resources and texts provided by your teachers to help you on your way. And finally, in the forums, You can chat with fellow students, either individually or in groups. Some will have descriptions attached to help you understand the purpose of some of these groups. Like this one, where you can chat with your teacher and other students. Before you go, I still have a few final remarks. The bottom right menu always contains the Settings button, the Exit button, the Full Screen toggle, and the Report a Problem button. And if you ever have any unread messages from the forums, they will show up here too. Your teachers have an online portal with full access to the work of all their students. They can open any submission and read any review. If anyone missed a deadline, they will quickly be aware. Through this portal, they may also place announcements on the forums and chat with each of you. If you would like to speak to the developers about the system, feel free to contact us through the chat system. Or, if you have run into any technical issues, we kindly ask you to use the report button, as it allows us to have a more in-depth look at what may have caused your issue within the application. Otherwise, you could simply contact us through info@orbitgames.nl. That is all for now. We really hope you will enjoy the platform, and any feedback is always welcome. Cheers!